Here is something for you to think about. Are we doing our best for our students if we just keep doing the same thing we've always done and not changing our practice to follow what the evidence shows us is best? As classroom teachers, we can make small changes to our daily classroom practice that will have a big impact on our students' revision and on their exam success. But making changes as a whole department is much harder. Changes to what a department uses for revision needs lots of people to agree. It needs the budgets to balance, and with the current state of school funding, departments really need to ensure that they're getting the most for their money and not wasting money doing what they've always done or following fads or trends. But this is not a new fad that is going to be outdated in a few months. This project is evidence-based. This book was designed with years of educational research taken into consideration so that you can trust that you're investing your budget wisely, which is the exact opposite of doing what you've always done or just following a fad. So I'm going to introduce you to our new evidence-based revision guide and explain why each part, the knowledge organisers, the retrieval practice and the slot, is better than the books that are already out there. And these can be used as part of structured revision to help your students at home or in class. Now, revision guides have been the same for years. I don't know who came up with the idea for revision guides, but until now, the format hasn't really changed for ages. They are essentially short textbooks. And if you want questions, you have to buy another workbook which has loads of questions in, splitting students' attention in different direction and increasing the chances that they will lose a book. The Oxford Rise series is different. From the start of the project, and I know this because there are a few of us around the table in a pub scribbling all over bits of paper, sorting out what went where. Everything that has gone into these books is evidence-based. For every topic there is a knowledge organiser, retrieval practice and questions about the current topic, retrieval questions about past topics, either a maths or a practical skills book, and then slop. Shed loads of practice. Each topic has a knowledge organiser. All of the knowledge for a topic clearly laid out on a double page spread, because the first step in revision is knowledge, and sometimes the lack of knowledge can prevent students from even getting started. These are going to act as memory aids and help reduce the cognitive load on students' working memory, helping to prevent them from abandoning tasks. Each separate idea is in its own box with a clear pathway for students to take around the boxes. Knowledge organisers are not meant to be a comprehensive teaching resource. They are only a double page spread or a few pages. But they're meant to provide students with an easy way to access information that has been covered in a topic to help them retrieve a memory that is hard to get hold of. It's something that they can flick back to while answering questions, something to help them recall all of the facts that they need, all of the facts in one easy access place. For students who don't know where to start with revision, this is a great way to focus their revision. It gives them the building blocks that they can use towards growing their expert schema. This is followed by short recall questions. All of these questions can be answered using the information on the knowledge organiser. Now, frequent reviewing of the information has been shown to improve student recall. After presenting students clearly with the knowledge, these questions get them to engage with the information in the knowledge organiser. To make everyone's lives easier and get those reluctant revisers doing something, the answers are just there next to it. So the students can lay their paper over the page, answer the question, and then immediately check their answers. This is deliberately designed as a low stakes memory test. Taking memory test effects improves long-term retention of the facts. If you wanted to use these in class, this would be a great start to the lesson or a really accessible way for students to start revision. For those students who are reluctant to start because they are worried about getting things wrong, this removes the pressure and guides them easily into doing some work. We know students tend to forget about a topic as soon as they've finished, as soon as they've left the classroom, as soon as that topic test is done. But for the exam we need them to know all the topics. So it's not just rhetorical questions about the current topic, but there are also questions about past topics as well. So they're not just focusing on that end of unit test, but they're working on improving their knowledge, working on moving knowledge from their working memory into their long-term memory. Interleaving knowledge produces better long-term results compared to block revision. The slop sections are the jewel in the crown of these books, and not just because I wrote some of them. The best way for students to become experts is by practicing. Hours of practicing, or shed loads of practice. With these books we have learnt the lessons of the previous exams and seen how the exam boards are dealing with AO2. So there are loads of practice questions in there, placing the knowledge into new and unexpected contexts. Because if we can get these students used to feeling uncomfortable when they're revising, when they come across a new context in the exam, we can all remember the outcry about carrots and axolotls, then hopefully they won't panic. We need to get them to expect the unexpected. Now we know as teachers the best way to get good at anything is by practicing it over and over again. So in this question we've provided your students with easy access to loads of questions, assessing the same topic from a different angle in a range of different ways. We've interleaved questions from past topics in there just to make sure they're continuously revising the content. Now I've edited the whole series, all 5 books, which means that I have seen every single page. I have read every single question and written hundreds of tips to help students use these questions effectively. Now some of these questions are so good that I am jealous that I didn't write the questions, which I know seems maybe a bit silly, but I do love writing really good exam questions, and I know I'm biased, but these are really, really good practice exam questions. And then all my helpful little hints and tips, it's like having me sitting next to the student going, have you remembered to convert from non-standard units into standard units, or have you taken notice of the command word? So I know I am biased because I spend a lot of time working on these books, but they are brilliant. And they are designed to really, really help you as a department, help you as a classroom teacher to make your lives easier and to help your students get better results.